Checkity check check.
Checkity check check.
Checkity check check.
Checkity check.
Checkity.
Soup? Soup? Seriously?
Welcome to Good Soup. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
We didn't have a lot of messing around today.
No, we didn't. I think it's because we acknowledged it in the last episode that now it must end. Because when you acknowledge things, that's when they go away.
That's true. We brought it into the light.
Yeah. It's like I just started going to this new gym, and I was telling Chris that I've been having a really easy time getting up in the morning and going, and I got these new shoes and they haven't been hurting me at all, and it's been like just going so smooth and so great. I'm loving it. And then literally the next day after I told her that, my shoes started hurting and I started feeling tired. And I was so annoyed. My shoes have not hurt since that day, and good. I have been still enjoying going, but it was just that one day after I said it, I was like, gosh darn it. Like, I've jinxed myself.
It all. Yeah, I know. I hate when that happens.
Yeah. So this week we were going to do just a little bit of a shorter palate cleanser, hopefully.
For real this time.
Our last palate cleanser, we ended up talking about death a lot, which was kind of out of left field. But
murder and death.
and fun.
No, some
and
of that.
Cookie.
Yeah. And there will be blood and blood orphans.
Anyway, I can't remember any of the things he says.
I know.
But
we also have a furry guest on our show today.
Angie's dog Rory. Our friend Angie.
Yeah.
I don't know if she listens to the pod still, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Your dog is here with us, Angie.
So if you hear little clickety clacks,
that's what it is. We love Rory.
We do love Rory. She's a sweetie.
She's a little bit of a crackhead, but
sometimes, yes.
Yeah, we love her.
We do love her. So legit palate cleanser this week.
Do we have like a circus noise we can insert? Yeah, I feel like there should be like a little graphic or something. Exactly.
Yeah, that should be.
Because we're doing fun and games this episode. We thought we would do some little games and trivia about ourselves.
Yes.
To try to keep it surface level.
Yeah, fun and light. We hopefully
I'm breezy.
I'm breezy. Hopefully we won't get into it too intense today, but you never know with us, so
we'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes.
Because we're starting off with 2 truths and a lie.
And a lie.
Which has proven to actually
lie the best.
Not me. I'm really bad at lying.
Me too, actually.
Okay, so side note. Already going off.
Here we go.
I think we've talked about this before, but my husband loves board games, and he actually has a board gaming podcast.
He does.
At the Game Table Podcast. I can't even say.
Shout out.
The Game Table Podcast. So if you're interested in board games, go over there. Check them out. They're great.
They are great.
But there's certain like group games that involve lying. You know, it's like where one person is the
sheriff.
Yeah. Or the bandit or the werewolf, and you have to like suss that person out, and you have to like Yeah. There's always the one person who has to lie, and the other people who have to figure out who it is.
Right.
And we played this game at a game night the other night, and I forget what it's called. Oh, it's called Secret Hitler. Yeah. And it's exactly what you think it is.
Yeesh.
And because I can't.
Were you Hitler?
No, I wasn't. Thank God. Yeah. I was a liberal. So there's the liberal and the fascist.
Okay.
So there's like most of everybody's a liberal, and then there's a couple fascists, and then one of the fascists is Hitler. And you have to like, you're like a government body, and you're trying to pass certain bills. And so if you pass
as Hitler,
if you pass like 5 liberal bills, the liberals win. But if the fascists get in there and start passing fascist bills, then the government secedes to Hitler. And yeah,
sneaky snakes.
And Chris has the facial expression I'm sure most of you have, which says, how is this a game that people can purchase and play?
That is actually crazy.
It was, and I was the only person who thought it was crazy. Everyone else was like, this is so fun. And it was really fun. I'm not gonna, it's a great game. Right. It was super fun.
Could we use something else?
But I was like, what's next? 9/11, the board game?
Yeah,
and
right.
Like, that's too far. That's just too far. And I'm like, how? Like, okay, so maybe there's 50 less years of time to not care about it as much. But it's
if you had a game
just as harrowing.
If you had a game where you were like secret terrorist,
right? We're trying to find the terrorists before they can take over the plane.
Yeah, before they can do so many things on the plane to take it down. Like, right? Yeah, it is the same
premise. And they were like, no, that's too far. That's not. No. And I'm like, this is the same game.
Right. It's only
leave us a comment.
Tell us what do you think?
I just thought that was great. It was a fun game, and it was a really well-made game. I'm not trying to shoot them down.
No.
But I did think it was just a funny concept that it's like there's certain things that are appropriate, and then there's certain things that aren't appropriate, but it's like these are real things that happen.
Right.
Anyway,
I know. Yeah. How far is too far?
I'm curious. But moving on.
Yeah.
2 truths and a lie. I am really bad at lying, and I'm also really bad at coming up with lies off the cuff. I found, because we sat down to write ours.
We did.
This morning, and I had a really hard time coming up with lies.
Like, it is, well, and I think it's especially hard for us playing this together because we do know so much about each other.
Yeah.
So we really had to, at least I had to really dig into the recesses of my brain to figure out stuff that maybe I haven't told you yet, but I'm not even sure.
Right. So well, I made the rule as we were sitting down to write them. I was like, we can't do any of those stupid truths and lie where it's like, I was born on December 31st. Oh, it's a lie. I was born on December 30th. Like,
yeah, right.
Like none of those like lies, like where it's a true thing, but you just change it slightly. It's like, it has to be a completely different thing. So I made that rule. I made that rule.
Yeah, she did.
And then I sat down and all I could think of was lies that were just slightly rearranged truths. And it was difficult, but I managed to pull through.
Sweet.
So, do you want to go first or shall I go first?
How many we're going to do like 3 rounds?
Yeah. Let's start with 3. I have 5 sets, but
Me too.
Don't know which ones I want to use.
All right. I guess I can go first. Okay. So, number 1, I got my leg slashed by an ice skate when I was in junior high. I fell through the ice as a kid.
That's a lie.
How do you know?
Because I'll tell you why.
Wait, okay. And then we had a pair of ski boots that dry rotted.
Oh, so this is like winter themed.
Yeah, I told you. It was easier for me to think of themes.
Oh, gotcha.
So we had a pair of ski boots that dry rotted so bad that when I went to wear them, they just cracked off my feet as I was walking in them at the ski resort.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny, but if it's
I really
true,
think the middle one is the lie.
That I fell through the ice.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Well, because I just put on
right away.
Because I was just putting on the song "The Bolter," where it talks about her falling through the ice, and I was like, she was listening to that song, and she just decided to make that her lie. No.
Oh
my god. Were you listening? I put on the Bolter because it's been stuck in my head all morning, and the song is about how she fell through the ice.
Nope. I swear.
That's crazy.
I swear. Maybe subconsciously it got in my brain, but
well, it also could have been after you already wrote that down because I don't know the timing of. When
I don't
you wrote it down.
either. Well, I guess.
But
we'll
I
never
just
know.
The vibe was immediate lie.
That is so. So if you hadn't played that song, do you think you would have?
I don't know. Because the first thought was because of the song. So I don't know if my intuition is that good or if it's just that I assumed something that wasn't true. But
that's wild.
Go listen to The Bolter by Taylor Swift. I really like that song.
Okay, your turn.
Oh, I have to go next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. All right. So my brother broke my arm when I was a baby because I was laying on my stomach and I had like my arms out and he stepped on my arm as he was running and it like snapped my arm in like my forearm. My favorite food is noodles. And my friend Caleb and I had plans to go on a cross-country road trip in a VW van when we graduated high school, and we never did.
I am so torn between noodles and your forearm breaking.
Walk me through your thought process here.
So I can verify that Caleb is actually somebody you knew, and
Yep.
that sounds like that sounds very plausible to me.
Mm-hmm.
That you had this plan, but then you never did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not so concerned about that one. Noodles, however, I'm just like, is that your favorite food?
I don't know. Is it?
No. But then I'm like, I feel like if your brother stepped on your arm, albeit accidentally, I would have I feel like by this time in our friendship, I would have known about that or remembered it.
I don't remember it happening. So
Well,
it's
okay,
not
but
something that
still,
I talk
but-
about.
Noodles is the lie.
Final answer?
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong.
No! Noodles is your favorite food?
Yeah.
What?
Well, because I love pasta. I love macaroni and cheese. And then I love like pad thai, pad see ew. So I usually just say noodles because all my favorite foods have a noodle component.
That's what I was thinking. She loves Thai food too much to have noodles, but I see where you went with that.
Yeah.
So the forearm thing is the lie.
Yeah.
God, I should have known. I had an inkling. I was like, that just sounds so, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did step on my arm, and I think it like bruised it or something, but it didn't break. I've actually
never broken a bone.
Never broken a bone.
Okay.
You knew that.
I
You
did. I feel like we had talked about that before, but
you
I
haven't broken a bone either.
No.
That's something I feel like in our beginning stages of our friendship, we're like, oh my god, neither of us have ever broken a bone.
I need to not doubt myself next time. Just square one. All right. I was featured in the newspaper for cutting the ribbon at a library event. Once when I was a toddler, I ate raisins and pooped out grapes. And I was cast exclusively.
I don't think that's possible.
I was cast exclusively in male roles in both my high school plays.
That's not true. That's a lie.
That I was cast as males?
Yeah.
Only males?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That was true.
No, you played Annie in Annie Get Your Gun.
In the musical.
I think that doesn't count.
Yeah,
that does not go. That breaks the rule of like slightly changing something.
No. Plays were on certain years, and then musicals were on other years. I think the theater kids would agree with me. Theater kids, are you with me?
I was a theater kid.
You don't think plays and musicals are different?
No, I do think they're different, but I think the way you said the question is misleading.
Okay. Well, I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
I meant when we did school play.
Let me try to figure out the next one. I can't remember what the other ones were.
I was featured in the newspaper for cutting the ribbon at a library event, and when I was a toddler, I ate raisins and pooped out grapes.
You ate raisins and pooped out grapes. I feel like that's probably you're gonna say it's true, but Chris, that's not possible.
It wasn't me.
It was your sister.
Yeah.
You're breaking all the rules.
No, that is wildly different.
Changing the truth slightly. You're not following the rule that we set forth.
That seems like it's not like
changing the rule. That's changing
a day
it slightly.
Off. You think so?
Yes. This is the same story, but it didn't happen to me. It happened to someone I knew. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Veto.
Scrap it.
My turn. I'm a real player.
I really did get to cut the ribbon at the library, and I was in the newspaper.
That's really cool.
I thought that was fun. It was a really cool day.
I'm mad at you, so I don't care. Okay. I feel like this one is going to be really easy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the one that I thought was really funny, and so I wanted to talk about it.
Yes.
All right. I used to think that you had to die on your birthday. Like, that was the only day that you could die was, like, on your birthday. So I was always really excited about my birthday. But
what?
Well, kids
because
are.
It's your birthday, yeah.
But then also, like, tinged
Equally
with a little bit of fear. Because I thought that there was a possibility I could die. All other days, reckless abandon. I had no fear of dying.
Oh, my gosh.
I had an imaginary friend named Jeffrey growing up. and we did a lot of mud puddles together. And I was always
cute.
very concerned about his feet getting muddy. And so I
Aw.
would try to wash his feet off after we were done playing in the mud.
Okay.
Because we had like a hose in the backyard and I had to wash my feet off. And
Yeah,
then I'd have to
right.
wash Jeffrey's
Yeah.
feet off.
Obviously.
My sister used to tell me that she was a colonial woman who switched places with my sister's body, a la Freaky Friday.
That was you. That was you. That's the lie. You did that.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
No.
What?
My sister did that.
No,
Yes.
I thought you did that.
No, my sister did that to me. My sister
I
would
thought
wake.
you wouldn't get in the car because you're like, it's not a carriage.
That was my sister.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
So my sister used to like she would just wake up one day and be like, "Where am I? What's going on?" And she would like pretend to be a colonial woman who had like switched places with my sister's body, and I would have to like help her with things. And so she like I had to like help her not be afraid of the car.
Oh my
And like I would have to like teach her what food we ate and like help her with her clothes. And I like kind of knew we were playing pretend, but I also kind of believed it a little bit. So yeah, but the lie is that I had a friend named Jeffrey. I never had a friend named Jeffrey.
What was the other thing you said?
I used to think you had to die on your birthday.
Yeah, I would have said that's true.
Yeah. I don't.
Wow. Okay, man. I thought you got me with the little like. I'll say it's my sister. you know?
Yeah. But I told you
I
I'm not
know,
gonna break my own rule. You get one more try. You just can't be a nasty player about it.
Okay. All right. I've seen 2 volcanoes in my lifetime. I had
cool.
a horse growing up, and I've been scuba diving.
You've never been scuba diving. That's a lie.
Why am I so easy for you? That makes me mad.
Victory! I win.
I win. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious.
Here we go. I've never been on a cruise, but I want to.
Okay.
I have multiple blogs on the internet that are still live. And I've anonymously written into a newspaper about a scandal and was printed.
That's the lie.
Final answer?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not going to talk about it because it's embarrassing, but there was something going on with something in my life that I knew about in like a large setting. It was a church setting. There was a church setting. There was stuff going on, and I wrote to a newspaper. I created a different email address. I created a whole separate account, and I wrote to this newspaper being like, "Hey, this is what's happening at this church."
You were a ghostwriter?
And they printed what I said.
How
They're
did
like,
I
an
not
anonymous tipster told
know
us blah, blah,
this?
blah, blah, blah. Because I don't talk about it because I thought I would get in trouble and now it's been so long.
Oh my gosh, you have to tell me every detail.
I will, but I'm not
After
going to
the
talk about it
podcast.
here.
No,
'cause
yeah.
I could get murdered. Okay, but that's absolutely true.
What? Okay, wait. So then, all right. What were the other 2?
What were the other 2? Hold on. I've never been on a cruise, but I want to. I have multiple blogs on the internet that are still live.
See, live meaning you can still go see them.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think that's true. But also, I know you want to go on a cruise, so I know that's true. But it's like, have you been on a cruise? I think, gosh dang it, I think that's the lie. No, yes,
Wait,
yes,
which
it
one?
is.
Which one are
The
you picking?
cruise.
Yeah, that's a lie. I have been on a cruise.
You have been on a cruise.
Yeah.
And you want to go on one.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the lie part is that I've never been on a cruise.
Okay. But you have been on a cruise.
I have been on a cruise.
Where did you go on a cruise to?
I don't remember. The Bahamas, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I was like 17, and I was with my grandparents because my grandparents loved to cruise.
Sweet.
When they were still alive.
Yeah.
And I just went with them one time, and yeah,
Nice.
it was fine.
Awesome.
Anyway,
Wow. Okay. Okay, you go. Last one.
oh, we're doing another one.
unless you don't want to. We can move on.
All right. I've never been suspended from school. The last country I visited was Costa Rica, and I hate mushrooms.
I don't think you've ever been to Costa Rica. Final answer.
It's true.
Good Lord. Do I know anything about you? Goodness gracious. I promise we're friends.
Oh my God. You're taking this way too
This is
seriously.
wild. You've been to Costa Rica?
Mhm.
How? I just feel like...
You told me to go for stuff from high school. And
No.
I went to Costa Rica in high school.
Have we talked about this before?
Talked about you going to Costa Rica?
Yes.
No. I don't
Also,
think so.
while I was in high school.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh
twice.
my God. That's crazy.
I know. That's why I'm saying. I'm like, if...
I don't think
It's
we
just-
talk about high
it's
school
just-
a lot.
I guess that's true. It's just another weird experience that lines up. And I would think that if we had... I feel like I would have remembered if we would have talked about it. Like, oh, we both went to Costa Rica in high school.
Yeah.
That's where I saw one of my volcanoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. I knew you'd seen one in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe she's lying about, I've only seen one, the volcano.
Okay, Salty McSalterson. My God.
No, but so my mom is like a counselor, and we went to this organization that does counseling for women in sex trafficking.
Oh.
And so my mom was like working that week, and I did like stuff with their kids ministry. I feel like maybe I told you about
remember,
that.
yes, I do remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's wild.
You're mad.
I'm just mad that I can't retain information well,
That's
I
fine.
guess. Yeah.
I don't feel like any of that is
You
stuff
don't
that
think
we've-
so?
Well, I feel like I have told you about that I did that with my mom, but the
Mhm.
fact that it was in Costa Rica was kind of a side point, so it's like, why would you
okay.
hold on to that? I don't.
Why would I be a good friend? I don't know.
Shut up. That's not what it
I
is.
know, I
Don't
know,
be
I know.
dramatic.
I know.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay. So now we thought we would share our top 10 movies.
Yes.
This is some rando.
This is
information
something
to
that
give
we
you.
have actually put a lot of thought and effort into in the past,
Mhm.
is walking each other through our top 10 movies.
Yeah.
So this is significant to us.
It
so
is.
we're going to talk about it here today on the pod.
So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Do we want to try to guess our top movies, or do we want to say?
No, I don't know yours for crap. I don't.
What,
think-
really?
My
You
guess
don't
would
have-
be Paddington 2.
That's funny because I actually took Paddington 2 off the list.
I knew it was on your initial list,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if it had made it. But I don't feel like I know
Okay.
what your favorite movies
Yeah, that's
are.
interesting.
Because the ones that we've watched, I have not enjoyed.
Right. So there you go.
Which has actually been like a point of contention in our
I
relationship.
know. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's better now.
I'm
but
proud of you for working on that.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to point out, this is one of the things I wanted to say, but didn't want to tell you so that we could save it for the pod.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, I was going to ask you, what do you think if you had to guess?
Yes.
Mine would have been Paddington or Groundhog Day. I know those aren't like your favorites.
Honestly, yeah, and Groundhog Day didn't even make the list.
I just a movie that I know is special to you, but it's
Right.
like, is that one of your favorite
Favorite movies?
I don't know.
Jinx.
Whoa. Because I couldn't think of any movies that I'd ever seen in my life, and so I asked Chris. I was like, what movie do you think I like? And she's like, we'll save this for the
Yeah,
pod.
yeah.
So,
I would say I can only think of the one title, but I think it's wrong, but I'm thinking of a different Little Women. That's what I'm going with.
that's so good. It's number 2.
Ooh!
I
Is
feel-
Pride and Prejudice up there too, or no?
Prejudice number 6.
Okay.
These are not like, oh, this is
Right.
the ranking. I just kind of grouped them
Yes.
by like
same.
more favorite versus less favorite.
I didn't put a ton of thought into
the order.
ranking.
Yeah. So Little Women, I feel like, was one of the first ones I thought of. So
Mhm.
it's top.
Mhm.
It's top of the list.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like that you knew that.
Yeah.
But what I thought was
It is a
funny
good movie.
is the first 5 movies that I thought of all start with an L.
Really?
So my top 5 movies on this list all start with an L.
I cannot even think of any other movies that start with L right now.
Yeah. So do you want to go back and forth like one
Yeah.
at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to start 10 or 1, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So I would say this is probably still fairly accurate. My number one top movie is Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh, that's a good one.
It just always, no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I come back to it, it just is so good. And it has everything I love about cinema and
That is
all
a
the
really
good stuff.
movie.
Yeah. Just all the good stuff.
I love it. That does seem like a very you movie.
Then the soundtrack is.
I don't think the last time we did this, I don't think that was your number one. Was that has that always been your number one?
It was number one on my list. So
now I feel bad that I didn't know that. No, but I will now.
Yeah,
Forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be in my brain forever.
We probably didn't watch it together because I think you'd already seen it at that point.
I think we have watched it together. I think we watched it one time.
Did we watch it at my parents' house? Maybe. No. Okay.
Or maybe Ian and I watched. I've watched it within the last year, and it was like the first time I'd seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just Ian and I. But
okay.
Anyway, my number one movie is Lion, which I also think.
Oh my gosh! Duh.
Okay, you really need to not be so hard on yourself.
I feel like this is when people ask me who are some of your favorite artists, and I'm just like, and I literally listen to music all the time, and I could tell you when I'm not under pressure. Like, here, let me spout off a few, but it's like literally when someone asks me, like, what's one of your favorite artists? I'm like, I like Turtles. Like, it's just like, what is that? Okay, I did know that though.
Yes, you did know
Yeah.
that. So Lion is a movie that I don't think a ton of people know about. I don't
even think I've seen it yet. I know
what we're doing today. No, but it's about this little boy who gets separated from his brother in rural India, and he ends up getting adopted by a family in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And then in his adulthood, he finds his way back to his birth parents. And it's just...
I think I did watch it
good.
once after, like,
I feel like there's
after
no
it came
way
out.
you haven't watched it, because I feel like if you hadn't watched it, I would have made you watch it by this point.
Yeah,
I think the reason I
yeah.
haven't made you watch it is because I was under the impression that you had seen it.
Yeah, I think I do remember those. I do remember, like, little bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lion is my number one. Again, numbers are kind of loose, but
Right.
that's the first thing I think of. I'm like, oh, Lion. Like, I love that movie. And spoiler. Well, actually, never mind. I was going to say, we already know what my number two is because I already said it. But
Little Women.
Little Women is my number two, but we're supposed to go back and forth, so I was going to wait.
That's okay.
What's your number two?
The Big Year.
Did we watch that together? Is it the guy with the arm who, like, goes really fast?
Nope.
Which one is that?
Oh, okay. That's Rookie of the Year.
Oh, okay. You did make me watch that.
I did make you watch that.
It was weird.
Funky.
I thought you were actually cursing. I'm like, oh my god.
No. Hard choice. I did take Rookie of the Year off.
Oh, okay.
This time, just because it's probably.
Rory's like, I'm annoyed with your voices.
She's like, I gotta go over here. I took it off mainly because I think it's mainly just nostalgia factor. Like, it is a super cute movie, but compared to all my other favorite movies, I'm like, I think I just love this because of the nostalgia, not necessarily because of the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's still so hard, but yeah, that's really cute. No, The Big Year is about 3 different birders. So they're these guys that, sorry about the noise. There's these guys that go out and they see how many different species of birds they can either see or hear, like recognized by their call in 1 year. So 365 days. And it's like this big competition. It's actually a real thing. People in real life do this.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
If someone made that up, that would be so boring.
Right? But it's got this star-studded cast.
What if there were people who wanted to go look at birds? That's crazy.
They do, I know. So it's got Steve Martin, Jack Black, Owen Wilson, and Rashida Jones.
Oh, wow.
And Diane Wiest.
I don't know who Diane Wiest is,
but she was the mom in Edward Scissorhands. Probably her most notable role. One of her most notable.
I do know who that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
It's a really great movie.
You say Jack Black, I'm in.
I know, right? I know. Oh, and it's got the guy that plays Sheldon in it too.
Oh, Jim Parsons.
Yes, that guy. So it's got all the elements that I love in a movie, and it moves pretty quickly, and it's a shorter movie, so I like to put it on a lot in just the background.
Right,
and
well,
yeah,
we're gonna watch that today too, I guess.
yeah.
Okay, so number 3 for me is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I guess technically it's an L,
one.
or it's a T, not an
Well,
L,
man.
but I wrote it as Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe in my notes, so.
I cannot wait for the new Greta Gerwig.
Oh my god. If you
Chronicles.
don't know,
Freaking
I'm covering
A.
my eyes right now because I cannot handle the world right now with, oh my god. So Greta Gerwig directed Little Women, the Little Women that I love.
Yes.
So I should clarify, the Little Women that's my
Yes.
number 2
Is
is
the
the
Greta-
2019 or 2020
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig directed version. That's
Yes.
my top second favorite movie. I think I have seen the 90s one with Winona Ryder at some point in my life,
It was the 90s.
but it did not make an impact on
Yeah.
me. I did not grow up watching it, but the Greta Gerwig one is one of my all-time favorite. Obviously, I'm just saying things that are redundant. It's fine. But so Greta Gerwig is slated to direct. Is it a series or a movie?
I don't know. I'm
She's-
not sure on the details of it, but
She's
some
slated
form,
to direct the newest adaptation
Yeah.
of the Narnia series. And I am equal parts thrilled and terrified.
Yes.
Because it is such an important series of stories for me. The
Yeah.
books and the original films were
Mhm.
so impactful on my childhood and my adult life.
Yeah.
That it is akin to sacred for me. And so it's I'm excited that a director who I really admire is potentially taking on a new adaptation, but I'm also what if it's terrible? And but so the original 2005 version of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was one of my favorite movies growing up. My
Yeah.
parents, the saints that they are, took me to see it in theaters twice.
Aw, Twice.
Actually, speaking of my friend Caleb, who I referenced in a Truth and a Lie,
Yeah.
I went to go see it with him and his
What?
mom one time,
Aw.
and we were the only people in the theaters. So he and I got to run around
Oh my gosh.
during all the exciting parts, and it was great. I
A
loved
dream.
it. It was the best.
That is a dream.
And I remember I had my hair in space buns. My mom let me put my hair in space buns,
What?
and I was so excited. And I had a lime green coat.
Ooh.
And I had to hide behind. Caleb and I hid under my lime green coat during the previews because they had a preview for Pirates of the Caribbean 2. Yeah, you did know that.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know that because just the timing of the movie coming out.
But I'm pretty sure I've told you that though.
I don't remember the details about the lime green coat. I don't. But
Anyway,
why would I?
I don't know. Shut up. No, but so they had a trailer for Pirates of the Caribbean 2,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a part where they're all prisoners, and it's super scary.
Yeah.
And
Is that the one where they look human in the daylight and then they turn into skulls
That's the
or
first
skeletons? Okay.
but yeah, the idea, I'm sure that would have been scary too, but I'm pretty sure it's the second one because
Yeah.
Davy Jones is you have a
Yes.
debt to pay.
Yeah.
Time's up. And it was scary.
It is very scary. His mouth is scary.
Yeah, super
Blech.
scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my core memory of. Oh, and then for Christmas, sorry, I'm going off.
No,
on a
please
tangent.
do.
But for Christmas, I got a DVD copy, and it was a special edition DVD copy, and it was on the outside, it was Peter's shield with the
Oh
crest in the
my
middle, and then you
gosh.
slide it out of the little cardboard thing, and it was the wardrobe was the DVD cover.
What?
And it had 2 discs, and so there was all these special features.
Man, that
and
is so cool.
I loved it. I still feel the joy coursing through my veins when I
Oh,
think
yeah.
about that because it was the best Christmas ever.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it so much.
Man.
And yeah, so obviously my relationship with this movie runs deep, but also
Mhm.
just in general the lore and the stories is very important to me.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's my number 3.
Funny enough, though, there's a movie on Netflix, and I forget what it's called right now, but it has Bruce Willis. No. Who's the guy that did Mel Gibson? Signs guy, right? He was in Signs.
I
think
don't
that was
remember anybody in Signs except for Joaquin Phoenix
Okay.
and Abigail Breslin.
Oh my gosh, is she seriously in that
I
movie?
think so. I think that's a little girl.
What? Okay. Anyway, there's a movie on Netflix that has Mel Gibson in it, and he's this radio host.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy calls in, and he starts to cause all this trouble and stuff. But there's an intern in the radio station, and it's the same guy who plays Peter. And I didn't recognize him at first because it had been so long.
What's his name? William?
Yes, something like that. And I hadn't seen him in anything for so long. And then I was looking at him, and I just had that feeling of recognition. And then I realized it was Peter.
Yeah.
And I about died inside. So
he's so cute.
the movie's kind of crap.
And then Edmund, his name's Skander.
Oh my
Skander
gosh,
Kynes.
Edmund! I resonate with Edmund VV much.
Yes, same.
Anyway, okay.
Number 3.
Number 3 for me is Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Whoa, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I don't honestly.
Was that on your original list too?
I think it was.
I
Yes.
think it was too.
Most of these are until we get really down to the bottom.
I still have not seen that.
It's this weird kind of B-list movie. Honestly, it's gives me indie vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about this woman, and she goes on this journey of rediscovering herself artistically, and she's a mom and all this stuff. It's Kate Blanchett, and she does a really good performance in that.
I love Kate Blanchett.
Yeah. How do you say Kate?
I wasn't trying to correct you by
no,
saying
okay. I don't know. I never know. Is it like Blanchett or is it Blanchett? Or
I always hear it Blanchett.
Blanchett.
I really wasn't trying to be like, oh yeah, Kate Blanchett. I was just saying it genuinely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is, funnily enough, she is also in one of my other favorite movies on this list.
Funnily enough, she's in my next favorite movie on my list.
I'm actually really surprised about this.
I'm so guess curious. What it is. So this is my number 4 favorite movie, and it has Kate Blanchett.
Even in that you would like.
You're gonna be so mad, so mad.
Can you give me a hint, like genre?
Fantasy. The way Chris is just looking around the room as if the answer will appear somewhere.
The only thing that can come to my mind is Golden Compass, and I know that's not right.
That.
But it's the witch. It's got the witch from
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah,
Tilda Swinton. God bless America. I love Tilda Swinton. It's got Liv Tyler in it.
Oh, is she in one of the Lord of the Rings? What? No. Oh, Lord L.
Yeah, the L trend continues.
The L trend continues.
Lord of the Rings.
Who does she play?
She plays like the main, like female elf, the blonde female elf who like. Do you know the scene where she's like talking to Frodo and she's like, I could take the ring, and he's like, I don't know about that, and she's like, and she kind of hooks up for a second.
Okay,
and then she's like, wait, and then she ends up not taking it from him, and then she's like, I passed the test, I can relax now, and she ends up leaving.
See, I can only picture Liv Tyler.
And she gives him like the necklace that will be a light for you when all other lights go out.
I remember that line, but I can still only picture Liv Tyler.
Yeah. But
okay, I think I can kind of see it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Kate.
Wild. Wild.
Anyway, I don't need to talk about this one too much. I'm kind of cheating because I'm not going to pick one of the Lord of the Rings
I also
trilogy.
have a trilogy, so it's okay.
I'm not going to pick just one. It's the whole trilogy for me. But it's amazing, and I love it, and I don't care if you think I'm a nerd. I love it. And I just think they're some of the best done movies ever, especially considering the time and how good the animation parts are and how good the practical parts are. It's just very, very close to perfect in my mind. And as someone who's read the books, also an incredible adaptation of the literature, and it's amazing. I love it. It's something I'll watch every year, probably for the rest of my life.
Wow, that's amazing.
Anyway, so that's my number 4. What's your number 4?
I'm so sorry. I can't not talk about this.
What? Can you hear that on the audio?
A little bit.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm shaking a drink packet, guys, because I have ADHD and I can't sit still. So,
side note, one time after watching Lord of the Rings at my neighbor's house, that night I came home and I had a nightmare about those mud people Do you know, like, they come out of the mud?
You mean the orcs?
Or yeah, okay, yeah.
The
Sorry.
urukai.
Okay, nerd.
That was the nerdiest thing I
Yeah,
could have said right there.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I had a nightmare about the orcs, and I was basically in one of the fight scenes.
No.
And one of the orcs pulled back their bow and arrows because they make it really dramatic in the movie,
Yeah.
you know, and it got me right in the back, and I had a back spasm in real life. So I like felt the pain of like my back arching, and it like wouldn't like let
Oh
go.
my
And I actually
God.
had a real, I don't know how that works physiologically. Like,
I was just about to
does
say.
your brain communicate with your body and say, oh, we just got shot by an arrow, spasm, or are you already spasming and then
It's like coming up with a
a
answer.
story to
Yeah. I don't
know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I always think of that when I think of, or talk about Lord of the Rings.
That's insane. That would make a great Two Truth and a Lie if you were playing that rules.
Okay.
Just
My
kidding.
gosh.
Oh, man.
Can you check my blood pressure? Because there's so much salt in the room right now.
That's good. That's good.
I was really proud of that one, actually.
That's like well done.
Thank you.
Kudos.
Thank you, right? You can't be mad at me anymore.
It's all taken back.
Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me, Eddie the Eagle.
That's a good one. Very Christine.
Inspiring, great soundtrack,
Sports.
and sports based on a true story. What else can I say?
It's really good. You should watch it.
It is really
if you're
good.
listening to this,
Yeah.
you should watch it. I love it. Inspiring.
Mm-hmm. And if you like Hugh Jackman, he's in it.
Yeah,
He
he is in that.
Plays a fun character.
I do love Hugh Jackman.
I can't remember the main guy's name, but he was popular for a second. The redheaded kid.
I can't even picture his face.
I know. He does a really good job at imitating the mannerisms of the original Eddie. It's pretty wild, actually. He actually was the kid in
You should sum up what the kind of basic plot is to entice people to watch it.
Yes. I have to birth this thought. I can't.
Sorry. I'm so sorry for cutting you off.
Argyle. What is Argyle? Kingsman. Extraordinary Kingsman.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
The Kingsman Society.
The King's very special
The
secret
King's
society.
Groomsmen Society. Do you all know? I'm sure there's someone out there screaming
I like how
it.
you just said Argyle, and I'm like, yes, I know.
I know. It's in that series. Kingspin. I swear there's someone out there right now screaming into the radio because that's what I do.
You think people are listening
Yeah,
to this on the
I do.
radio?
Into their speakers, because that's what I do when they're talking about something and I know the answer. I'm like,
Yes.
it's this.
Yes.
It's this. Yeah, I literally can't. Anyway, okay. So the basic premise is that Eddie is the first British ski jumper to enter into the Olympics. And he has to overcome all these obstacles. First of all, he's never ever ski jumped in his entire life, and he's like 30 something. And
Wild.
and he's just trying to find some way to get into the Olympics, and then decides on ski jumping, and then it all, the whole committee's not happy about it, and because he doesn't look or talk like the other ski
Sure.
jumpers and stuff. But it is really good. It's based on a true story. Yeah, it's really, really inspiring. So genuinely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It is really good. I enjoy it.
And the music is just,
Chris we have inserted a clip before, so I won't
Oh,
make her do it again.
yeah,
But she
yeah.
did do a cover of one of the songs
Mhm.
from the soundtrack. And
Yeah.
it's good
the
memories.
score though is, if you love 80s music, specifically Van Halen Jump vibes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
For the most part. So anyway.
That's great. All right, number 5, last L title, Legally Blonde. A little bit of a hard
Whoa,
left here.
seriously?
Yeah.
We saw that at the drive-in.
We
That's so
did.
fun. After Barbie.
So good. No,
Well, can you guess my favorite line from that movie?
from Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
I can only think of my favorite one.
What's your favorite one?
Where he goes like, "You got into law school?" And she goes, "What? Like it's hard?"
That is a good one.
Like, I'll be so mad at myself, but
You are gonna be really mad. My
is it?
favorite line is, "Did you just call me a butthead?"
yes. Sorry, that was really loud.
I haven't been called a butthead since like middle school
She
or
goes,
whatever.
not
he
to
says.
your face.
Yeah. yeah.
No,
Oh my
but Legally
gosh.
Blonde is just such a classic movie.
It
And
is.
like people write it off because it's this like girly chick flick, whatever.
Mhm.
But it's a really good movie. And it really is about the power of overcoming stereotypes
Yeah.
and putting your mind to something and doing it and
Yeah.
believing in yourself. And I think that's really cool. I think that the message is lost because like it's this sort of funny rom-com, but I think that it's important, like, because we live in a world where it's like, yeah, women, but not girly women who fit the stereotype of being women. It's like you have to be a certain type of woman to be a powerful,
Yeah.
smart woman.
Yeah.
You know, you can't like
You can't be both.
yeah, you can't be both.
You
can't
can't
be
get your
smart.
nails done and graduate from Harvard.
Right. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just love that Elle Woods is like, you know,
Elle Woods.
the ultimate lady, and I just love her. And also funny, there's a episode at the end of the first season of The Office where there's a fire and they're all standing out in the parking lot and Jim starts a game of like Deserted Island.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fire Island.
I was about to say that too. and I think her name's Katie, but she's played by Amy Adams, and she says something about her favorite movie being Legally Blonde, and that's supposed to be like a signal
Kind
to
of a
the viewer
derogatory,
that she's like not the right girl for Jim because
Yeah.
she's like too
Ditzy.
airheaded.
Yeah.
To like if like, oh, it's like you're the only movie you can watch forever, and she wants to watch Legally Blonde,
Mhm.
and Jim and Pam have kind of an eye roll moment together
Right.
over it. And I honestly like have always really resented that because I'm like, that does not say anyway. That's a
Yeah.
whole other side tangent, but I like to include this in my top 5 just because it is one of my favorite movies, but
Mhm.
also because kind of on behalf of the Katies of the world who love this movie and people judge them for it.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5.
Yeah, I love it. It is interesting how people do get stuck on her character in the beginning of the movie versus her growth throughout the movie and like where she ends up. And like,
Mhm.
even though she doesn't, it's not like she becomes this like super serious person, or
Right.
it's not like she doesn't have the qualities that she has in the beginning of the movie. It's just the growth of what she's able to do
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning versus at the end. But it is interesting that people just really stick on, oh, Legally Blonde, ugh, airheaded, blah. And it's like, well, yeah, did you watch the movie?
Right.
Or, you know?
Anyway,
So.
it's just a fun movie.
It is a very
I
fun
literally,
movie.
no matter how many times I watch it, I'll always be down to watch it again.
Yeah.
And to me, that's also a hallmark of a favorite movie.
Oh, yeah.
Is like the rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are a little more intense, and I only watch them like once a year.
Yes.
But Legally Blonde is the first one that I'm kind of like, I'll watch it anytime.
Yeah. It's like an anytime snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get it.
I get it. Which brings me to my number 5, which is Paddington.
Ah, yes.
Numero uno.
The first.
The first. This is so funny. He's just so cute in his little accent, and he's just like, oh my gosh.
I haven't seen like any of your favorite movies.
I
and
know.
now I'm sad.
I think Rookie of the Year was a bad one to start you off on because I think it tainted your view of my taste in movies. And I get that a walking, talking bear is...
No, I love, because you know what's funny is I love the movie Christopher Robin, and I just watched that recently. Do you know that movie?
Wait.
It's got Ewan McGregor in it.
Hold on.
I said Ewan. Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
It's got Ewan McGregor
No,
in it, and
listen
he's
to
the
this.
adult Christopher Robin.
I have to tell you this right
What?
now. Okay, so I wanted to see that movie, but instead I watched the other one.
What's the other one called?
And it's
like
horribly
it's about
sad.
like war.
It's horribly
What is it
sad.
about?
I don't. It's about the
But
story of
it's
Winnie
not
the
a
Pooh.
Disney movie.
No, it's not a Disney movie.
It's about A.A. Milne's like life. Isn't
yes,
it?
it's about his life growing up and like why he writes Winnie the Pooh and all of the
What is it
reasons. It is
called?
horribly
So Long,
sad.
Christopher Robin, or something.
Yes, I think that
is it called
is.
So Long, Christopher Robin?
It's so sad and depressing it's not, I don't know. It's not, it just, from what I was expecting, like the Ewan McGregor version of like,
oh,
happy,
the bear's coming
funny,
to life.
Yeah. I was waiting for that to happen. And then all of a sudden it's like war, death, mother-son relationships. Like,
oh my God.
and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And
That
it
is just a horrible
scarred me for
mistake.
life. Christopher Robin, though, was good. It's very cheeky
Robin
and
is
very
very
fun.
good.
Yeah.
I just love there's like, 'cause speaking of the talking bear with the accent, and I can't even think of it.
reminded me of my grandma so much. Like just the way he talks.
Yes, he's like, "Oh." I can't even do it. But they walk up to like a guy selling tickets, like behind like a gate, like at a train station. He's like, "Why is he in a cage?" Makes me laugh so hard.
Oh my
Why
gosh.
is he in a cage?
Well, then I think you would probably like
I
Paddington.
probably I think I would. Like, there's nothing in me that doesn't. It's just I've never sat down to watch it.
Okay,
and so now
add
I
it to
think
the
that
list
I
today.
should. Yeah, absolutely. Movie marathon. No, but that reminds me of another Office episode where Pam wants to watch the movie 28 Days, which is like a rom-com.
I was just thinking that. Yes.
She's like, I kept waiting for Sandra Bullock to show up, and she never did.
28 days and 20 days later.
Oh, man, that's so sad.
So good.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Number
Sixer.
6?
Yeah.
All right, number 6 for me is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh.
So Chris has been made privy to this. I did make her watch it on my birthday a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And this is just, the girlies who know, this is just a classic. It's just a staple. If you're specifically a homeschooled girly, but also just like grow up with the whole classical, like sisters kind of vibes. And
Okay.
I'm not making a lot of sense, but the girls who
No.
know. It's like if you had sisters and
Yeah.
you went to ballet and you were probably homeschooled and you probably read a lot of books and you probably had paper dolls, honestly,
Ooh.
and a swing set. And probably at least one of you played piano. And you probably watched this movie and your life was changed.
Yeah.
And I am one of those girls.
What's his name?
Mr. Darcy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking there was this kid in my high school who there's this really famous shot. And if you've seen the movie, if you are into the lore, you know the shot where it's like the very end of the movie, Elizabeth gets out of bed early in the morning and goes on a little walk and she looks over the field and there's Mr. Darcy. He's walking across the field through the mist to come tell her he loves her. And there's this one just super long shot of him walking closer towards the camera. And it's just a single shot. He's just walking. And the music's like swells. And it's this, and he's walking through the mist. And the sun is rising. And it's just this beautiful shot. And I just remember this guy from my high school like recreating that like in one of my best friend's backyard. It was like the sun was setting and there was mist and he had like a long coat and he like walked through the yard and we like filmed it and we were like
this is amazing. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's a great movie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's one movie that I will throw on every day for the rest of my life. I don't actually do that, but I feel like I could. Like the rewatchability for this one is very high for me.
Yeah.
Because it just is nostalgic, but also just great on its own.
Ages well.
It ages well. Yes, very much so. The music is amazing. The performances are great. The story's familiar. I love it.
Yeah.
I love a period piece. So
yeah.
Anyway, what's next? 7?
No, 6.
That was my number 6. So you're on 6.
My 6, yeah. This is my trilogy and my Kate Blanchett number 2.
Okay.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, I didn't realize she was in that.
Yeah, she voices the mom. Spoiler alert.
How would that be a spoiler?
Hilda? No. Well, because, all right, you know what? They've been out for a while, so if you haven't seen it, it's your own fault.
I haven't seen them.
Do you want me to tell you then or no? I probably shouldn't tell you.
No.
Don't tell me. Okay, I won't tell you.
Because we still gotta go on that trip, and so I gotta watch the movies.
They're making PSA.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Rory's like, could you guys please keep it Universal is working on creating a How to Train Your Dragon land.
Just gonna let that sit for a
yeah.
second.
Just gonna let that stew.
Well, I think we actually even might have mentioned this on the podcast before.
Maybe.
But we are very generally, non-specifically, hoping to go for your 30th birthday, my 28th birthday.
Yes.
The year that it opens.
Yeah.
And so I have until then to watch these movies.
Yeah.
And all the Harry Potter movies.
But that'll be next summer.
No.
It'll open next summer, but we would go.
No, Chris.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was been like, no, we have at least 2 years.
Nope, 2025.
I'm about to turn 27.
I'm about to turn 30.
What the heck?
I just my brain just left my body for a second.
I was like, oh, I'll be 28 in so long. Oh
So,
God.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes,
great. Yeah, let's just move on. Great soundtrack again. Cute characters, cute premise. Animation is great. I thought they did a really good job too with the trilogy specifically, because typically when you have a really good first one, the next ones are not great, but I thought they delivered. So
cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I can't wait to watch them.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7 is About Time. This was on my list last time.
Was it?
Yeah. Why does that surprise you?
I don't know.
I feel like this is so in line with my tastes, but maybe I'm not.
Because I think
the next two are wild. This is the one of the last ones that makes sense. In this list.
Gosh.
But About Time has Rachel McAdams and
Domhnall Gleeson.
Yes,
right,
that guy. And he has the special ability to time travel himself into different points in his life, and it's just a beautiful, really romantic, inspirational, lovely film, and I really enjoy it. And I don't have a ton to say about that, but it's a little bit fantastical. It's a little bit fantasy. I already said fantasy. That means the same thing.
It's good.
My brain is just falling out of my butt. I just can't anymore. Anyway, but it's just a beautiful love story about relationships and what really matters in life. So that's my inspirational kind of one on my list.
I do love the father-son development in that one.
All right, number 7.
Number 7 for me.
You always look like you're going to give me a surprise.
I know.
Like, are you ready?
We Bought a Zoo.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Just so good. Also based on a true story. Yeah. Just cute. I don't know. Just like the process of grief and starting over and trying something scary. Just all good. Yeah.
I love it.
And a great soundtrack.
And
again.
Are we noticing a theme here for Chris? All right. So here's where things get a little weird.
Wild.
So my number 8 is The Village.
Oh my gosh. I contest this view.
What do you mean?
I know. It's just, I forget that you love this movie.
I love this
movie. And every time I figure it out again, I'm shocked all over again.
Why?
I don't know. The Village to me is one of those movies that made me so mad. I just could never, ever forgive it.
I understand that, but I had the opposite reaction. Where I was taken, the wool was pulled so far over my eyes that when it was revealed, I had nothing but respect for the movie.
Okay, all right,
I was like, you completely fooled me.
Yeah.
And I
love those experiences.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's on a different day. There was just as much of a chance as I would have been mad. But I love plot twists. I love a plot twist. And so The Village, no spoilers, but The Village has a great plot twist that, well, some would debate that it's a very highly contested movie. And I just happen to be one of the people that
you kind of either love it or hate it.
It really worked for me.
Yeah.
I really didn't see it coming. And I loved it. I have a weird affinity for scary movies.
You do.
And I'm what
is this? A gazebo?
I did. I made Chris watch it and
The newer version.
yeah, and it that's the one takeaway that she
Funny.
He was like, what are these? These are gazebos.
You meant to say placebos.
Yeah.
This is so funny.
They're gazebos. Anyway, but I do love a scary movie, and it used to be like I thought that it was bad that I liked scary movies, and so I would only watch them in the cover of night when no one else was around, and it would be like a lapse in my character, you know. It'd be like, oh, like just tonight, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
like it was
this
this
doesn't count.
big
No
like sinful thing. Like it was crazy, and I finally in my adulthood let that part of my upbringing go, and just was like, I like scary movies. Yeah, and so now I watch them a lot more regularly, and I like that about myself. I like scary movies. You do. I like how I'm just affirming that about myself constantly. But The Village isn't even that scary, but that's one of those movies that I watched when I was younger that was kind of like
off limits.
Yeah, it was kind of off. So maybe that adds to a little bit of the
I'm sure it does.
shininess of it for me, is that it was kind of forbidden at the time. And I watched it anyway because I'm pretty sure I was in high school.
I was just mad. I think I just built up my expectations about, because I heard so many things about the twist. I was like, it's going to be so wild. And then it just didn't live up to my wild expectations. So I think I set myself up.
I didn't know there was a twist going in. I just was like, which this is like in any trailer that you would see, is like there's this village of people and they're surrounded by these woods and there's these creatures that live in the woods and they have this sort of tenuous agreement with these creatures that like they won't attack the village if the village like offers them like sacrifices kind of. And finally something happens and a girl needs to travel to a different place to get medicine or something. I forget exactly why, but she has to go through the woods and it's like this whole scary thing. And so that's what I knew going in. And it was very intriguing to me. And I love, like I've mentioned with Pride and Prejudice, I love a period piece. I love things that are set in a different time. And and I just thought it was really good. And it's something that I will continue to watch. And every time I watch it, it just makes me so happy. I just love it so much.
Maybe I should try to watch it again, because I have noticed my taste in movies shifting a little bit at this point in my life. And so I wonder if watching it, knowing the general idea of what happens, would help me watch it in like a different way instead of just being mad the whole time.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, so that's my number 7.
Okay. That's your number 7?
Number 8.
Okay. Funnily enough, my number 8 is also a little bit of a horror.
Ooh.
Horror, scary, I guess, suspenseful thriller, whatever you want to call it. It's A Quiet Place.
That's one of your favorites?
Yes.
I am flabbergasted.
Yeah.
We've never talked about that
really?
movie.
I love it.
Oh my God. You know what?
What?
I just decided yesterday.
What? Swish.
The new one is coming out.
The second one?
No, the third one.
The third one, yeah.
Is coming out on my birthday. And I just decided that that's what I want to do on my birthday, is go see the new movie. Yes. That's so crazy.
Yes.
I accept.
I accept heartily. I am really excited about the third one. But,
me too.
Yeah, number 1, I love that it's John Krasinski's like directorial debut.
Excellent.
Speechless, honestly.
Good job for him.
Crazy. And that I think he wrote it too. Maybe in collaboration with some other people, but
no, he's like a screenwriter.
The story is his, the directing is his,
the acting is his.
The acting is his. I love that him and Emily are in it together.
I know.
Love it. The horrible sadness of it is so good.
It's so good. And like the suspense building is amazing.
And the creatures are so scary.
The use of sound and lack of sound is incredible.
I love that.
Fun fact, I almost used this as one of my 2 truths or a lie. I couldn't figure out if I wanted it to be a truth or a lie.
Okay. So scrapped it,
but that was the first ever like quote unquote scary movie that I saw in theaters.
What?
After I broke my kind of I don't watch scary movies fan, and it came out in theaters and I wanted to see it, and I was like, I'm gonna go see it in theaters.
Sweet.
That was like one of the first things.
Been a great one to see.
It was really cool. I was really nervous about it because when we first started, it obviously starts off very quiet.
So quiet.
And it was like the premiere weekend. And so there's a lot of people in the theater.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like opening their candy and stuff.
Right.
And then there was a group of teenagers that was like
hate
chortling to themselves. And I was like, this is going to be a miserable experience.
Right.
Everything turned out fine.
Yeah.
But the opening scene started and there was so much noise happening during a really quiet part of the scene.
Right.
And I was like, this is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
But it turned out fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first scary movie I ever saw in theaters.
Man, I was really glad I got to see the second one in theaters. So I was happy about that. But it's a great story and executed amazingly and
yes, 5 stars.
Yeah.
Agree.
Solid.
Hard agree. All right, my number 9 is also a scary movie. Actual scary movie, not just a thriller like The Village.
Okay.
I want you to try to guess because we watched this together.
Is it that? No, it's not.
You don't
Are you
even have
kidding
to
me?
say it.
Is it Barbarian?
It's Barbarian.
Ah!
Yes,
Honestly,
ladies and gentlemen.
Don't watch it.
It's Barbarian.
I know you love the social commentary of it all.
I love
but
it.
If you're not into social commentary and you're like me and you watch a scary movie for the thrill of it, don't watch this movie.
So good. It's so scary.
But then, okay. All right. What do
you mean?
It is very scary, but then when
It's
you
so
when
good.
they reveal all of it, it's like, what the heck is that?
Okay, so it doesn't make perfect sense. Get over it. Okay?
The story.
Not everything.
Okay.
Your favorite movies have talking bears. Okay?
I know. It's just I don't know what I was expecting, but
No, I just don't think you like scary movies as much. I think you like very specific brands of scary.
Yeah,
which I mean, I do too.
That's
I have
true.
my own
That's
taste.
true.
I'm not just every scary movie.
right.
But Barbarian is an actual horror movie. So walk into that. The Village is more tame. It's definitely more of a thriller. But Barbarian is an actual like horror movie.
Yeah.
So just if you do take any of our recommendations,
More grotesque.
Go into that one much
vivid
more
scenes.
carefully.
Yeah.
But it's about this woman who books an Airbnb for a job interview in a city where she doesn't live, and there's a man already in her Airbnb, and so she ends up spending the night at the Airbnb with the man.
The scary part.
It's not. It's just, but that's the part that I can say because the rest would be spoilers.
Is just,
So, but it is so intense and crazy just insane. And it is very scary, but in the best ways for me of just like that sort of heart pumping like tension and like it's not like there's not a lot of blood, which I can't do blood. I don't like anything that's like
I don't think there's hardly any blood.
There's like almost no blood, but it's just like the visuals were so good and just the eerie, creepy, everything was just so perfect. And then there's like I can't get into it because it would all be spoilers, but there's just so many elements to it that are so good. There's this deeper commentary running through it, as Chris mentioned, and so it's fun for me to like enjoy it and be scared, but then also like dissect like what these things represent.
Yeah,
and there's just some crazy twists, and like
I will say that
I've never been more shocked. Like The Village and Barbarian made the list mostly because there has never been quite the take your breath away moment in any other movie for me other than in Barbarian and The Village. Definitely look up trigger warnings
or
synopsis, and I think it's called Does the Dog Die or something like that. There's a website where you can look up, and I think you can do it without spoilers, of like, is there sexual assault in this film? Is there animal death in this film? Like, if there's certain things that really bother you and you don't want to be surprised by anything, like there's definitely things you can look up to prepare yourself better for stuff like that.
I often there's a parent guide on IMDb actually that'll break down the different areas of like rating. So there's like language, sex and nudity, violence, all that stuff, and it'll tell you like mild, moderate, severe, and then if you click into it, it'll actually give you descriptions of said scenes, and it'll tell you before if there's any spoilers. It'll tell you like, hey, spoilers.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
so
perfect.
that's like, it's a typically pretty comprehensive guide if you are also looking for something to just do some research before you watch something.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, so that's my number 9.
Sweet. My number 9
You just always give me this look like you're gonna be like, do you know what it is?
My number 9 is a movie called Shall We Dance? And
I've never even heard you talk about that.
yeah, I don't watch or think about it often, but it is one of my all-time favorite movies. It has Fred Rogers. No, oh my gosh. Fred Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Do a little tap
Do a little welcome to my neighborhood. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
Oh, I see what happened there in
yes,
your brain.
Yes. And it is, I think there's a black and white version and a color version. That's how old it is. But yes, they do a lot of tap dancing. There are a lot of musical numbers. And the gist of it is this Ginger Rogers plays this really famous woman, and then Fred Astaire is this other guy, and they meet, and then they're basically like, we're not gonna fall in love, and then they do.
Sure.
And everything ensues, and
Time.
it's just really, there's this really, really cute song that they sing while they're on roller skates. Like part of the scene is on roller skates, and it's this little song of like, you say tomato, I say tomato, you say potato.
Yeah. I know that song.
Yeah. So it's really cute, and it's all the wholesome vibes of the 30s and the 40s.
You know, one of my favorite movies, like I remember whenever I would make a list, this was always on my list, like when I was younger, was a movie called Funny Face. And
yes,
it had Fred
Audrey
Astaire.
Hepburn. Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire. And I loved that movie. And looking back, it's a little weird.
It is, because isn't that the inspiration for one of Taylor Swift's videos? Or no, you told me you get Funny Face vibes.
Yes, that was my own personal theory.
Yes,
was that I got Funny Face vibes.
Heartily agree.
If you've ever seen Funny Face,
heartily agree.
Go watch the Delicate music video and tell me that the dance sequence does not look like it was from Funny Face.
For Delicate?
Yeah. But like Fred Astaire is like 20 or 30 years older than Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah,
anyway, it was a weird dynamic.
Show business, well, still, but especially I feel like back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, I just was thinking about it because we were talking about our favorite movies, and that used to be one of my favorite movies, and now I'm kind of like,
yeah.
I don't know. There's just some weird things where
I went through a Audrey Hepburn phase for sure.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in like high school.
Yeah. Like we all have been there.
Right. All right.
Number 10. This is
10.
taking a hard right back into the corral.
Okay.
But my number 10 is Tangled. I love Tangled so much. It's a Disney movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. I'm not going to try to summarize it, but it's their Rapunzel retelling.
Yeah. And
it is a very, 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 very good movie. And it's
so
very
good.
special to me. And when it came out, it just resonated so deeply with my young self. I mean, I was probably 12 or 13. I was 13 when that came out.
Oh gosh, I would have been in high school.
Yeah. So I was a little older. I wasn't like a small child watching it. What just happened?
I'm so sorry. Evan just texted me and said he just had a cicada hit him in the face while he was walking outside. My living nightmare right now.
It's coming. It's about to happen to us.
Okay, side note.
I'm so terrified.
The last couple days I've been driving, and the weather's been temperate enough to like have my windows down, and I've not had like any really close calls, but I'll be driving with my windows down, and then I'll see a cicada like floating through the air, and then I remember I can't drive with my windows down right now because one of them is gonna fly into the window and land in my lap, and I can already see it all happening,
and then you're gonna crash your car, and then you're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. R.I.P. me.
Yeah. Anyway,
sorry,
we have really bad cicadas here this time of year.
Deafening.
And there's, especially
this year.
I guess this year is special somehow.
It is like
and
really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're loud and they're everywhere. But apparently the loudness comes first, and we haven't experienced the they're going to be coming out. So like, because I haven't seen a bunch like in person in real life. I hear them. Yeah. But I haven't seen a bunch, and I was like, oh, maybe like I just won't, because people have been telling me like, oh, you're going to need an umbrella like when you walk outside to protect you from the cicada. And I was like, oh, I guess we're not getting that this year. And they're like, oh no, like they're out, but they're gonna come out even more, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, Tangled. Love Tangled. So I was like a small adolescent person. And I
like
loved
13.
it.
Yeah.
And I started watching it every year on my birthday. And
Ooh.
I haven't watched it on my birthday in several years, but I watched it every year on my birthday till I was probably 22, 23.
Wow.
So it's a special birthday movie for me, and I love it.
Funny story. I actually went and saw Tangled in the theater.
Oh.
And it was packed. So there was no empty seats really. And the lady sitting next to me, she was an older woman. And during one of the scenes, I was crying. And she handed me a tissue.
Aw.
Because she could hear me crying next to her.
That's so
But she
nice.
also was crying. So it was like a little stranger bonding moment.
That's nice.
Yeah. Okay. My number 10 is The Fall Guy. I know.
Didn't that just come out?
It just came out. I just saw it 2 weeks ago, but I love it.
Promo. Oh my God.
I love it.
I'm going to need to see
Also
that.
has Emily Blunt in it and Ryan Gosling, and it's...
No, it has Ryan Reynolds in it. No, it's Ryan
Gosling. Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Because I'm embarrassed.
Hashtag embarrassed.
No, it's an ode to stunt people in making films, so there was a lot of stunt action, and the story was just really fun and cute.
That's cute.
It was just a great movie, great acting, just really fun. So
Nice.
and I haven't stopped thinking about it since I saw it.
Oh,
So,
that's a good sign.
Yeah. So that's a newbie to the list, but
That's so cool.
I think I would watch it. I think it has high rewatchability. So
well, I'll have
we
to
shall see when it
I'll
comes
have
out.
to see it.
Yeah.
I feel like you've seen a lot of mine, and I haven't seen very many of yours. Since you lost
Funny.
so embarrassingly
Funny
in
how
2
that
Truths and a
happens.
Lie.
I know, yeah.
I'll just pay you back by
Yeah,
not
right.
having seen any of your favorite
We're
movies.
even. We're even. We're good.
Just kidding.
JK. Well, people,
Sorry.
soups
away.
Soups away. Speaking of soup, I am starving. It is
Okay.
lunchtime.
Goodbye,
and
everyone.
I have no food. So
Tell us your favorite movie.
yeah, write us
Annie,
in.
text us your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Specifically.
AKA Annie, yes.
AKA Annie.
Just
please
text us your favorite movie.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you, Annie.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Bye.
We love all our listeners. Bye.
Okay.